So after Reggie, Mitch, and myself all got together, and we were confident in our sound, we still hadn't rounded off the band with the bass player, or a bass player with whom we were satisfied. Ran through a couple, and it didn't work out. I myself play in another band. When I auditioned for that band, I met a guy named Paul Mather, and then he added me on Facebook after the audition. And my dad saw the post, and he asked me, "Hey man, how do you know the Mathe?" I said, "He was at the audition." I said, "Well, the Mathe and I went to high school back in the day. We were good buddies. He used to play in a band with my friend Jeff Martin. It was called August." And we got to talking, and I thought, you know, the circumstances of our having met are so mysterious, and our relationship is was so quickly forged, and my respect for his playing was so great that I thought, well, what about the Mathe? So the Mathe joined us, and he gave that ingredient of maturity and respect, and he had such a deep appreciation for what we were doing that it seemed only natural that he would be the guy to supply that final ingredient to the mix.
So basically I was born in Toronto, Ontario in the 60s. Grew up in North Bridlewood, which is near Shepherd and Victoria Park, in that area. So we all grew up listening to music of the 70s. It was the early 70s that awakened us and awakened our spirit and passion to music. For me, it was Alice Cooper. It was the blend of hard rock and theatrics and the progressive nature of the songwriting, long pieces of music that would intertwine into various other tangents and melodic and rhythmical changes. And to me, that was the whole package. Being a fan of horror movies as a kid, seeing a rock and roll artist combine theatrics of horror movies and putting it all together was enough to hook me. So after I saw that and experienced the Alice Cooper experience back in the 70s, Billion Dollar Babies, A Muscle of Love, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to join a rock and roll band and play rock and roll music. Well, here I am still doing it and still loving it. So with that, I've been in a lot of bands. I started singing. My first experience on stage was being a lead singer for a band called Dark Star in 1976, and we were doing original material back then as well. But really, it was in '77 where I discovered the power of bass and Roger Glover, and listening to his tone in Made in Japan, that hooked me. So I started playing in the '70s, late '70s, played in lots of bands. But as soon as I started playing, I started writing. And the writing never left. Playing music, cover bands, we always put originals in there. And throughout the 70s and 80s and 90s, played in countless bands, covers and originals. And then, moving into the 2000s, for me, it's always been performing live as well, playing on stage, playing for lots of people. So the 2000s, back to more cover material, as well as writing and arranging my own material in my studio, playing more instruments, studying music, studying more theory, learning other instruments and recording techniques and orchestration and those sorts of things. So back into the 2000s, the itch to play live was growing again, and I joined a number of tribute bands over the last 15 years. Coda, the Led Zeppelin Experience, I was in that for about 10 years, and then we had the Police Review. And I still love playing live, and I'm a member of Bon Jovi Forever, so that band keeps us busy, and we do a lot of shows, which is a lot of fun. And it was the fall of last year, 2019, that I started playing with Thrust, and there's been no turning back since. it's been a rekindling of spirit, a rekindling of getting back to writing original material, playing our own stuff, playing on stage, inspiring people with our music. Our mission is to blow minds one at a time, or many minds at the same time, with our playing, our music, our recording, songwriting. And for me, it's really rekindled that passion of playing with artists that want to write new music, and jam and just fully creative, and get out there and inspire others. So with Thrust, it's a second chance for me to get back out there and do this, and couldn't be more happier than to be playing with the great spirits that we have in Thrust.